right, so do me a favor. Welcome in, first of all. But please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already. And let's get on with this. So this is called Wrath of Man. It just came out. I don't know. I forgot to put it. I deeply apologize. But it just came out on iTunes is what I do know. The budget of it is $40 million. It is 1 hour and 58 minutes. And it is directed by Guy Ritchie. It stars Jason Statham, Scott Eastwood, Josh Hartnett, Liam Angler, Jason Wong, Jeffrey Dovon, and for some reason, Post Malone has a smart part in here playing a thug. What a shocker. Don't care for his music, not saying he's bad, but it's just always interesting. He always plays a thug in a small part in a movie. But the plot of this is new banker truck guard surprises his coworker when a group of thieves try to take the hall by force. When the new guard unexpectedly unleashes precise skills and left to wonder what he is hiding. This is your typical Jason Statham. Sorry for my little bit of stuttering there. This is your typical Jason Statham action film. I love Jason Statham. His movies are just fun, straightforward, pure action-packed film. Let's be real. They can be good or bad, depending on your opinion. For me, they can be good or they can be bad. So he's not known for his acting skills, but more of his action, martial arts, killing, and stunts. So it's not like he's famous, but he's not famous for being that big actor type of range of emotion and stuff. So Guy Ritchie, who was behind movies such as Boondock Saints, The Gentleman, The Man of U.N.C.L.E., and Sherlock Holmes, to name the ones I liked, from what I could saw of his. He does these very nice and very interesting camera angles throughout the whole thing. It does kind of get tiring after a while. And this movie is no exception. He definitely does it throughout the whole thing. Again, can be kind of tiring. Another thing I've noticed in most of his movies, most of his films, including this one, he does a scene then opens with a art video collage surrounding with dramatic score. Kind of like the James Bond movie, except they actually use musical artists instead of scores. Which a lot of these movies these days don't have that. It's usually now more particular directors. So I definitely do appreciate that they do that, because it's kind of a lost art among other things. Just like how most of everything is CGI instead of actual physical stuff. So, but again, appreciate it. Another thing he does is chapters, and when he transfers from scene to scene, he will do a jump with titles. Like say 12 months later or 12 months earlier type of thing. Some people hate it, some people like that type of thing. I personally don't care either way, as long as it's done right. It was kind of done right. It was a bit. It was done fine in the beginning, but then he has a plain black background with a little bit of writing and fancy writing. That's really about it. So it's not like something big writing. So I wish he would have kept doing that. Now for the acting of Jason so far. Is so far from award winning. He's just straight face, all badass, no emotion, and on his face. How many times did I say face? Everyone else was average. Not really a fan of when they pretty much don't fully stick to one story, and they didn't. It was kind of like 3 stories mixed into one with the 2 backstories of these other groups, of the lead up. Which, you know, by the end of the movie, I didn't really have that much issue with it, but it was a little bit, it took me off during that part of the movie. They definitely did spend a long time with that. It with the stories of each group, including Statham's, it kind of felt a little bit cluttered, to be more exact. But you know, again, towards the end of the movie, it fit in. The more I thought about it, it fit into the story. There was no other way of doing it. I mean, I wish they would have. Normally with movies, what they'll do is, and this is normally not what a Guy Ritchie does, because he does this type of thing. But what I wish they would have done is kept that little bit more, somehow shorter for each one, and it was more revealed towards the end of the movie, in my opinion. Some of the transfers to scene to scene were a bit choppy, I'll say that. I am left with two questions, though, about Jason's character background. Call it two plot holes, if you will, or little plot holes. Now, I won't be specific because this is a non-spoiler review, but you can kind of imagine of his background and what his position is in this, outside of being the guard. Now, I will say it's funny how one guy didn't realize that Jason's character didn't recognize him right away. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about and what part I'm talking about. But I thought that was just funny. I thought it was a bit, not realistic, if you could say. Don't get all this wrong. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. I really enjoyed this film. Despite that big, long, about 30 minutes of kind of taking away a story a little bit by adding the story. I know that sounds weird, but it is. I've seen better Jason films than this, but it's right up there in the top 10, for sure. I would even say top 6. But here is my rating. So I really want to see more of Scott Eastwood's movie. I think I've seen one of him. I thought he did a good job in here. For an Eastwood family member. I'm not saying Clint Eastwood's bad, but he's just kind of, if you look at his stuff, in my opinion, it doesn't really say compared to a big award winning. But he's famous for that stuff. I would think, I'm a Clint Eastwood fan, so I want to see more of his son, his acting skills, because he literally looks just like a very young Clint Eastwood. That's not the only reason, but I just want to see his acting skills. I really am a huge Clint Eastwood fan. Even though technically, if you were to argue that John Wayne, when it comes to his rivalry, that he does a better job of acting with the range, but still. A big fan of Clint Eastwood, not really a fan of John Wayne. I only seen one of his movies, I think. And no, I actually haven't seen anything of his, so put that on the list. But anyways, if you haven't already, please hit the bell icon so you know when I put something else out. I'm hoping to put something out tomorrow. I may be doing something else. I don't know. I'm definitely a little bit, obviously, tired right now, so that's probably why I'm starting to mess up a little bit from beginning to the end of this review, and I do apologize for that. I'm only human, and I'm on a bunch of other medications and have other issues, so blah, blah, blah. So I do apologize. But enough about me. I love you all. Please subscribe. And again, please hit the like button. And everyone have a nice day. Skål.